All right, welcome to the show. I'm West Coast Wolf, your humble host. Tonight's topic for the Bay Area Black Community Reloaded is called Finding Common Ground to Build a Successful Future. And I'd like to welcome you guys tonight. There's a lot you could be doing tonight, but you're on the call with me to discuss much needed issues for our community that we're growing as we speak. Tonight is a very special topic because I feel that we have so many resources out here in the Bay Area, in the nation, actually in the world, but particularly in the Bay Area where we all live, or most of us live right now. The more core group it lives in the Bay Area, but we're working on expanding that. But there's a lot to be said for untapped resources, family. Um, I was talking to some gentlemen this weekend, and we got into some deep discussions about a lot of things. And I have to say, it was really refreshing to talk to some people, strong, intelligent minded for our community. It was a breath of fresh air for me because I tell many of friends, I feel like, there's a lot of scattered resources out here. We got to just bring them all together as a group under one household. And for us to do that, we're going to have to find a way to find common ground. I mean, we all have our differences. We all have our different belief systems. We have our different lifestyles. But in the beginning, it was just us. So let me talk about that for a minute today. Like I say, I look at things as much things that things that I come to conclusion in my life happen by just, I think, in my spirit. God shows me certain things, and I follow my instinct on a lot of things. But when I'm lost in different places of making the next step in my life, I always go back to my roots. Many of you do the same thing. You go back to your roots, what you know best. And I will tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, if you take a bird's eye view, take a snapshot picture of your life and what you see around you, and just take a pause and just meditate on what's happened in your life thus far, what you think you could have done better in your life, where you want to go in your future. It's kind of like being in a forest and being lost. You just see one tree and they all look the same. But from a bird's eye view, there's a forest that you're in. So how you backtrack your steps to put yourself back in the right perspective, to like setting yourself back to, a reset, to get yourself, mind, your body, your spirit as one to move forward in the right direction. And what I do in my life, I look at life, especially my people, because my people is what we all have. It's just us, whether you believe it or not. It's just us, family. And when you look at natural birth, when a child is born, the doctor slaps that baby on the butt, and that baby breathes the breath of life. Came from Almighty. But you look at when that baby looks around, the first person that baby probably sees, if not the doctor, he's put in the hands of his mom. He's had his mom, or his or her, had his mom's heartbeat in his existence, his whole entire being in his mom's belly. He knew his mom's beat of her heart. That child knew innately its mom. And you look at your first person that you look and you bond with is your mother. And we're talking about black people here. First person you bond with is your mom. So I look at life like this. If you're going to do anything in your life, start with your own people. And I know people have different belief systems, but in the end result, if you look around us, family, in the Bay Area, anywhere in the world, you travel different parts of places around the world, you will see that everybody who's thriving today, they have a certain bond with their people. And we've lost that. That's actually taken from us in America, and they're trying to take that from Africans as well on the continent of Africa. But you think we got to get that back. And how are we going to bridge that gap when there's so many different people who believe different things, so many different people who believe a certain way of life is a better way of life? I'll take the Mexicans, for example. I was talking to some friends about that this week. In this country, the Mexicans, no disrespect to them, but they're very literate in this country compared to black people. Keywords compared to black people. But they're actually making a lot more moves than black people, and they're not as much educated. They're not educated as much as we are. They don't have the same income producing power that we have at some point, but they actually put their money together as a collective group, and they're building their community. And I think I saw a census report that's saying that they was like a 4 or 5% ahead of African Americans in this country right now, our people, because they have found a way to bridge the gap. They have a certain common ground, and they build on top of that for the future success of their people. Now, some of them are Christian. Some of them might be, I don't know, taking different faiths. I could say Buddhism, Hinduism, different parts of Christianity. They have so many different religions on the face of this earth and in this country. Catholic, whatever they might believe. What it all comes back to, they have a collective cultural bond that we have lost in our country, in this country, as black people, because it was ripped from us, from the oppressors, many, many, many moons ago, centuries ago. And how do we get that back? Because I'm going to tell you something, family, no matter what you believe, no matter what you call God, no matter what you think is important in your life as far as your commute, your career, your kid's career, one thing is sure in my mind, and it should be sure in your mind. If we don't bridge this gap, if we don't find this common ground as a group, we will lose everything we have in this country. And that's not a whole lot anymore. But there's a great push to push the African American or the black people of this country out of existence. They don't even mention this on the news that much anymore. To bring out Latinos and the LGBT community have more of a precedent, more of a pace in the public eye and in the media attention. So as we go underground, as we go under the cover of society, we have to build up within ourselves. We have to build within our own communities because they have taken us off the table. 50 years or plus removed from Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King. 50 years removed. Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, the former, activists for the black community. I say former because they got new shows on TV and media shows outlets now, and they make a lot of money. I'm not sure, they make a few points here and there about what's happening to the black community, but most of the time I see them trying to keep us calm and keep us in place in so many ways. So I'm telling people tonight, we have to find a common ground to build success for the future, family. We have to do this. This is not an option for us. Because, like, for example, I talked to some people, I was getting the event together. This was last year sometime, a year and a half ago. I'm breaking my neck time to get this event together for this town hall meeting, right? And I went to several different churches, several different ones, big ones and small ones. And it always was the same thing. It was like they had a certain agenda that they wanted to meet in order for them to open up and give me a place to present a town hall meeting. One pastor finally let me have the town hall meeting. I did 2 or 3 at his church. But he put so much pressure on me to, I guess, not be too, I don't want to say radical. He didn't want me to be too aggressive with the topics that were at hand because he reminded me this was a nonprofit organization and they had certain rules they had to abide by. They couldn't mix politics with this and that. I get all that. I get all of that. I do. And even for then, he probably didn't promote and encourage his constituents to be a part of that event, but that's okay. We had a decent number of people from what we did. Probably about 50, 60 people came, not from the church that we were actually giving the event at, but we had a show turnout nonetheless. Some people came. We had the California Black Chamber of Commerce president, Mr. Aubrey Stone. He came and graced us with his appearance. I understand the police wanted to come. But the main actual the point I'm trying to make, guys, is that I'm so worried about how he looked. And y'all talked about how he wanted to promote his church and different things. And I told myself, and I actually told him in a closed-door meeting, even before I did the events, I said, you know what, brother? There's a lot of people in Oakland, a lot of people in the Bay Area, pastors, who are losing their constituency. They're moving out of the area. They can't afford to live in the Bay Area anymore. So a lot of people are leaving because they can't afford to stay here, which means that the church also loses. So I didn't understand why a lot of pastors would not uh, give us quarters to discuss the much needed issues of the community because they're so worried about that nonprofit money. And this is the reason why I haven't turned nonprofit for this organization because I know there's a lot of government entities. I know some good things you can get, some free glasses. You can get free people to come out and give you drinks and different free materials. But you know what? That stuff really wasn't that important because it was just, to me, it was superficial. The core of the problems that we're having was not really being addressed. And if you allow the government or anybody else in this country to control what you can do and not do because they're funding your organization, you can believe it or not, family, that's going to be a problem for you. Because I've witnessed different things in this country happen. And if they remove funding, if you only can get funding from a nonprofit organization through the government, federal grants or whatever, if that's your only way of making money for your organization to grow, you're going to be in trouble going forward. Because black community organizations are dying out. And the reason I talk about this is because I see there's a lot of people in the Bay Area who like to have black businesses. They like to have black showcases of what we have, and that's great. I'm all for that. I support black businesses. But if we don't deal with the mindset of our people first and foremost, if we don't or do it at the least collectively at the same time, we're going to have some serious problems. There are going to be people wasting their money and go out of business in a couple of years. Why? Because if you don't have black folks with the same mindset, almost like they have to support you, whether they think you have the best, breakfast or restaurant in the world. They have to support you because those are black jobs, those are black establishments, black funding possible for somebody else trying to come up through the community. It's a chain reaction of events that will take place if we do not support them. But because a lot of people don't have common ground in our community, we don't have any common glue that binds us together besides being of African descent. This is where we're losing. And for us to have a future, we got to find a way to discuss our issues and to agree to disagree and move forward anyway until we can build our own communities back. And what I'm seeing is that, let me tell you something. I've met a lot of amazing people in my life. In the last 10 years of me going on this journey to better myself and better people around me and help us move forward as a group, I've learned a lot about life, about the psychology of our people, especially our people, but people in general. And what I notice is this about black people. We can get stuck on something so easily. Oh, my God. If we get pissed off with somebody, that's it. We're done. We don't want to go back and see them. We don't want to talk to them. We don't want to support the business. It's over. It don't have to be a big deal. It could be a slight. Somebody could be having a bad day. That's it. I'm done. I'm not coming back. But we constantly go back to all these white organizations, the Hispanic community. We love their food. People can piss us off. The Arab on the corner at the liquor store, we'll go back. Convenient. But let a black man or a black institution come up out of the works, and somebody didn't do something just right for you. Done. We stop soliciting the business, and we're actually participating, unbeknownst to us, and those who do that, we're actually participating in our own destruction in this country. Nobody does that but black people. I'm telling you something. I've seen the most terrible restaurants, dirty, food's not that good. Mexican community, Asian community, they still go back in there. It's full. That place is always in business. There's a place on the corner where I used to stay from. It's called the Cherry Pit. It's on Sandra Boulevard. Everybody in the area knows that area. The Cherry Pit was open since we was in high school. Okay, a long time ago, and the business wasn't that good for the last 5 or 10 years. But they made some. It's amazing how they stayed in business. I was just shocked how long they stayed in business after the fact. The whole movement, the crowds were gone because they have a cultural following. People support them anyway. Our people, we out in 2 years, tops. It's been said that, I think even some studies probably have shown that they say black people, we wait 2 years to support people really heavily, see if they make it or not. Can you believe that? We see to see if they're making or not over 2 years. Well, guess what? A lot of them at this point in time, family, won't make it if we don't support them from the gate. So with that topic, I'm going to open the lines up to some people and discuss what can we do to make sure that we can keep moving forward. Because I have some ideas I know what's going to take, because one thing we're going to take is going to take some thick skin to move forward. We can't be so slighted on little petty stuff. Because I'm telling you something, I love all my friends, but all of them piss me off at some point or another. They're still my friends. You know how we do that? I'm going to give you some clues. Here's one way we can do this. You have to look for the good in everybody you deal with. Every black person in your circle, they have some quirks. They have some things about them that you may not like. But you have to look for the good in that person. And you can focus on the good, and you can help them be better if you can. You know, piece by piece. Some people have temperament that's testy. Okay? But you work with them piece by piece if they allow you to work with them. And you will find, after so much time, I got friends now, had over 10 years. When I first met them, oh my God, the stuff they do would just drive me nuts. But over time, they got to know me. I got to know them. Things I didn't like, I did. I worked on them. Things I didn't like, they did. They worked on them. And that's why we're still friends. You see? But see, take that into your business life, okay? In a business relationship, it's the same thing for our people. Unfortunately, we're more emotional. We're more connected emotionally with everybody that we deal with, especially in the business. White folks, they cannot like you. You got good business, they're going to come anyway. They don't care. They cannot like you. I see them work in the office all the time. Corporate office, hate each other, but they'll work together to one common goal. Black people, I can't mess with that person. I'm done with them. I can't deal with them. We're more of a spiritual people than most people, okay? We connected to a point where we have to feel a certain way to go forward. So there's a lot of people that actually their business, they're working on building black businesses, and I respect that. But this aspect of working relationships, we have to fix that too. Because most black folks know, if you're not living under a rock somewhere, you know how we operate, how most of us operate. Somebody sets you off, you're done. And if you get a collection of people talking about, gossiping about, well, somebody did you wrong and this place is not that good or whatever, before you know it, it done caught fire and a lot of people are not going over there no more. Because of something that happened with this person over here and that person over there. Now, a significant population is not submitting that business anymore. And that's hurting that business. Therefore, it's hurting us as a family. So I want to go over that tonight with you guys. But one thing I want to let you leave on before I open the lines, I want you to make you understand something. You cannot let petty differences stop you from moving forward. There are some good people out here, family, but they have a lot of work to do. But with the right people, the right conversation, respectfully, people will work on their additional differences. I learned that. I got people in my group, my circle, I know for a long time. But outside of me, people are like, how do you deal with that person? Because I look for the good in that person, and I know why a person does what they do, and I know that they're a good person at heart. We're just working with them. But if you have somebody in your circle at the core is very destructive, that's going to be a hard road. Sometimes you got to know when to let go and move on. But most people are not like that. I don't think most people are like that. Most folks just need somebody to listen to them and help them move in a positive direction. And there could be somebody on your team that can be successful at some point in the future. Because everybody has something they're very good at that another person is not good at. But if you let petty differences sever that relationship, you will never get to the point you see the best in that person. But the person has to be, at the core, humble enough to accept their differences and to work on them. Then if the person's not willing to work on their differences, not willing to work on their imperfections, then that's going to be something you got to decide. You may let them go at some point. But it has to be willing to work on differences. So with that said, I'm opening the lines up because some people with their hands already. And we're going to discuss that. Let's see. I know who this is. This is 8730. Welcome to the show.
What's happening?
How you doing, my brother? I'm doing great.
Well, first of all, let me commend you. This is a topic and a subject that I have a lot of passion about. As you know, I'm in a partnership with the Black Business Southern Cafe in Antioch. Mm-hmm. And the very thing that you talked about in terms of understanding that we don't have a choice, we've put ourselves in a position now where we have to support each other. All the things that you stated are absolutely correct. I think the challenge that we have is, although we're talking about it, we're a select group. And this kind of conversation needs to be, it needs to have growth and volume in the ears that are listening to this type of conversation. I only say it because it's going to make us grow. You hear everybody say economics. But any black business, let's keep one thing in mind that we don't think about, we don't have the passion. When people decide to go out on their own and get away from the corporate structure, they have put everything that they have in their savings account into that business that they have. They're banking and they're believing in us. And so often we let our people down. Now, the thing that I like that you said that I feel that some of us have to do is we have to call people to the carpet. You know, many times that's not something that we do, and we get offended by it. That's number one. Number two, the people that your audience that you're talking about, they have to feel that way and kind of express that same sentiment so we can move forward. Because if we don't do this, as I stated before, we're going to be in economic slavery because it won't have anything to do with race. It'll have to do with the economy. The economy in the next 20 years or 30 years will be so tough that all the other ethnic groups, and start with Hispanics, they're all going to look out for their own. And because we don't have a business, all they have to say when you go look for the job, are you bilingual? If your answer is no, this position is bilingual. And I don't care if it's a box boy. So now you're out the game and you can't go get a job anywhere. Why? Because you didn't support the black business and help the economy grow when we had that opportunity. And that's why the things that you're talking about, it is so important that we continue this journey. But right now, as I stated before, we used to be a race of progressives. Now we're a reactive race. But the bad part, now we're in survival mode. So we're right halfway reactive and halfway survival. We got to get away from the survival, then become reactive, and then become progressive. But I can talk all night. But anyway, a very good topic, bro.
Yes, sir. I totally agree with you, my brother. Totally agree with you. All right, let's see. I got another hand. If I didn't say anything, I would say you press 1 on your phone if you want to comment. You press 1 on your phone, that'll put you in the queue, and I'll see your hand raised, and I'll give you option to speak. I have another caller, 9339. Welcome to the call.
Thank you. Good evening. Thanks for taking my call. I, too, agree that this is a very important topic. And, you know, I find myself actually quite frequently supporting black-owned businesses and telling other people to do the same. And I get a lot of the pushback about, you know, our people, quote unquote, don't appreciate the business, have with attitude. They're out of this or that, just different, you know, poor customer service, different excuses. And I say the same things that you've said tonight often. Well, when you get bad service at a white establishment, do you stop supporting all of them? You know, or if you've had poor customer service at one restaurant, do you stop going to that restaurant, or do you not get that same server again? If you've had, you know, you go to places to get your nails done and have been unhappy with them, do you boycott all Vietnamese nail salons from there on, you know? And, of course, the answer is no in every case. It's like, well, then why would you talk about all black businesses or all black, you know, establishments, basically throw them all under a bus because you had a negative experience with one of them, you know, or with one service or person that's supposed to be serving you or whatever. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's like they go, yeah, I get it, but, or they'll say, well, I've gone a couple of times or I've gone to a couple of different places and I've had kind of the same experience. And, you know, and I find myself a lot of times getting to where basically they don't want to talk to me or or they're only going to talk to me about if they're interested in doing something that is supportive of black businesses, then they'll bring me into the conversation. Otherwise, they don't want to talk to me anymore. And it's kind of, I feel like like I'm on a island. Like there's not enough people that think like this. And just like your previous caller was saying, we need to have a broader audience to hear this message. And I don't personally understand why it's so hard. I don't see what there is not to get. I don't see how we don't understand that we are all we've got. And I don't know why we seem to be more comfortable. And I mean, other than just saying self-hatred, like why is it that we seem to be more comfortable in mixed establishments? Like we'd rather go and patronize, a business, say a Mexican restaurant, even if it's dirty, even if the food's not good or cold, or they don't want you in there, they're talking in their language behind your back, but you still want to continue to go there because you're in mixed company. Like why? What is it? Why do we have such a stigma or a fear, or what is it that we have that kind of keeps us from wanting to be with just us? Like we are not comfortable in that setting, and we don't want people to know that we're going to a black-owned place. Like we'll only, like I said, they'll invite me if they're going to a black-owned place, right? But if they have, white friends, Hispanic friends, or whatever, they'll go with them to their white establishments, or they'll go with them to their Mexican food places, but they won't necessarily bring them to a black-owned place. Why? What? I don't get it. And I just wonder if you could speak to that.
Okay, thank you. Before I speak to that, somebody else is in the queue here, 2008. I'm going to let them give a speak on this 2008. Welcome to the call.
Hello. I want to speak on what Maya was just talking about as far as why, like, the African community is not comfortable with our own people. And I think it has innately more to do with the fact that I don't feel that they're comfortable. I feel like what we used to feel with all the other communities, I feel that that some people may think that they're more. I think it's more hurtful when your own people don't like you, or we have some rift just because. I mean, I know it's like ingrained with us. It's like what we went through slavery and stuff, but it's still there, and it's probably even stronger than ever because they're technically supposed to have more opportunities and more I don't know what you want to say, more advancement, but it between black people we're still the same. And it's like, but I think they feel like there's more opportunity out there because it's more hurtful from your own group to it's uncomfortable. And then if you go outside, I mean, that's kind of expected. And so we're used to that. So now that's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's more hurtful, and it's more hurtful, and it's more, it's harder. Because I know that I know, like when I go out and even growing up, people are like, "Oh, you want to be white?" And I'm like, "What? Why is speaking English white? I don't understand that. And why just because I have a good grade that's trying to be white? Just stuff like that." And so you get that, and it's hurtful. I mean, you get it from outside other groups, but when you hear it from your own, like all the time and it's just nonstop. So then I can kind of see. I'm not saying that's me that I feel more comfortable, but I'm just saying that I can see how that is. I can kind of understand. I mean, obviously it's on different levels, but across the board, I mean, it's kind of hard. It's like it's kind of like you don't know where to go. You don't know who to put in your circle because
you know why?
What's out there.
Let me stop you right there. Do you know why the kids would cheese people for having better grades and saying that you're acting white for speaking English? Do you know why they did that?
No, I understand.
You say you do understand?
Yeah, I do. I totally get it. But what I'm saying is that some people may not, and so then, and if they don't have that understanding, then they don't even want to be around it because they know from the outside community, not like the white people, the Indian, whatever, they kind of expect it and they know how to react to that.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's just a thought. Me?
What's your name?
Chisa.
Okay, Kisa.
Chisa.
I get your name. You call it enough. I get your name enough. Okay, Kisa. Good point. Touche. All right, I see somebody's coming in. Let me see. Thanks for that for information there, Kisa. I have 4906 wants to say something. 4906. Talk to me. We talk back.
Hey, this is Yolanda. How you doing?
Yo, what's up? Yo. Talk to me.
Yeah, so
Embrace us.
Yeah, this is a very passionate topic for me, but I feel like there's so many arteries that lead to this. But I feel like one of the ones that, really gets to me is that for black businesses to succeed, we need to be intentional. I'm not talking about the black businesses. I'm talking about those of us who are spending our money. I feel like as a people, we're not strategic. We're not intentional. We haven't gotten to the point where things are bad enough where we become more strategic about what we do with our money. Other groups of people, when they get pissed off about shit, they decide, I ain't spending my money there. We not, think about when Colin Kaepernick decided he wanted to do what he did. He wanted to do what he did. The police officers, we don't want to protect, the football stadium. Other people, they were trying to put pressure on the NFL, about the whole thing. And I just think collectively as a people, we're not intentional. I feel that one of the worst things that happened to us, and please excuse me for other people who are not of our race on this call, but segregation was segregation. Integration was one of the worst things that happened to us. When we were segregated, we didn't have a choice. That's why black business thrives so well, because they didn't want us in their world. So what? But look what we had. We had everything that we needed. And it's as if when integration came, it was like we thought we won a prize. I was too little at that time, but that's what I feel like. Like we won a prize and we left the back door open. Like integration didn't mean closed shop, but we did.
Right.
And so
the white
now
man
we're back at ground. Yeah, because the whole thing about it, they hated us so much they didn't even want our money. But somebody figured out they spend a lot of money.
Right.
So how about we get their money? So their whole game has been all the way through. They are the biggest spenders. Just let them spend their money. And if we could collectively get that, and I don't know how you're going to get that across. It may take some crazy shit to go down for us to realize spend on our own. But it has to be intentional. You have to be extremely intentional about what you're doing with your money. And I don't know how you get that across in a group sense. For me, it's just about my circle of influence and the people that I talk to. I make sure that I keep, saying, hey, we got a lot of black businesses in Antioch. Black grocer, black restaurant, beauty supply. It's intentional. You got to do it. To me, it's like it starts at home with your family. It's hard getting your own family to make those kind of choices. The people that you love to make those kind of choices. Because it's I don't know, it's just not important. It doesn't seem that, because anything that's important to you, you're going to put some effort to. I don't care how much you can say that something is important, but until you put action to it, then it's not that important to you. So I don't know how we collectively get our people to start being more strategic and more intentional. That's all I got to say.
All right, thanks, Londa. Thank you, my sister. Now, for those who don't know, I'm going to just tell you right now, Sister Yolanda just was speaking to you guys. Part of her jobs was to help young businesses get started, get going. That was what she did. She talked to a lot of small business companies, help people get started, to get their business off the ground. That's what she did for a living. So I'm going to just tell you right there that if she's confused about it, frustrated about it, I know a lot of folks out here frustrated about it. But let me give y'all some insight on what I know. Let me tell you something. It's going to take some shit to happen. I hate to say that. Why? Because let me tell you something. You look back at slavery times. They talked about spoken very well about the segregation movement. They made us isolate ourselves from them. They didn't want our money. True. Then they say, oh, the door's open, we can go get us now. We always want something that the people don't want to give us. But here's the problem. This society we live in called America, this matrix, I call it the matrix that we live in, they created so many Negro trinkets, so many distractions for us to be somewhat lightweight satisfied with. So we can't see the forest for the trees. But it's going to take until we. It's two things got to happen. It's like a one or the other for us to get it. One thing could have to happen. They have to really go after us again like they did back in the slavery times, and I think that day is coming. Unfortunately for us, that day is coming, and most of us will not be prepared for that because white supremacy has been awakened. The underbelly of America has opened up, and everybody can see it now. Social media has made it very clearly. It's always been there. Folks thought racism was over. We've passed that post-racism. That's all BS. It never left. It never was gone. It was hidden because you had a few Negro trinkets. You had a nice little job. You had a good little lifestyle. You could make a little money. You wasn't getting whooped every day, hung string up in a tree, drowned every day, not in mass amounts, but a few people around the country was getting that happen to a few things, getting out here and there, somebody found cut up, buried, whatever. But for massive groups of people, no. It wasn't for everybody to see. I think that day's coming back because white supremacy is the people who was in this country who know what slavery looked like, the kids they taught, what it was, they still here. And they're very angry about the country changing to be brown and back to be black at some point in the future. Here's the problem. So either one, they're going to get it so bad to where they're going to make us so afraid because, like I said, most black people are slaves. Nobody want to hear that. It's the truth. Most black folks are slaves because a slave only moves when their life is in danger. They have to know their life is in danger for them to move in the right direction. I said there are three types of slaves. It's the house Negro, the field Negro, and the runaway Negro. The runaway Negro is the one I was, and a few of my friends of Negroes run away because we wasn't going to be on the plantation. We didn't like what was going on there. The house Negro has got a great job, and he don't want to make no waves. He like his position. He see it out there bad, but he ain't going to speak on nothing because he got a good position going. So he ain't going to do nothing about that. But the field Negro hate the master, and he want to be like, you know what? I hate what I'm doing, but it's a little job. I'm going to keep doing it. None of them Negroes see the future, but the runaway Negro. The Negro said, this ain't for me. I can't do this kind of life. That was me. And I'm telling you something, for us to make it in the future in this country, two things got to happen. One got to happen is going to be very destructive for black people to live in this country under immediate physical harm and attack, fear factor. If that don't move us, what's going to have to happen, and it have to happen really fast in the next 20 years, I say. My brother said 30 years, I say next 15 to 20. Things are moving so fast. A few of us, like on this call, have to get together and build influence and outwardly. Build our influence outwardly, meaning that we on the same page, we work together, build some institutions, build some strong core unity with our people, and then we move forward and influence the rest of the Bay Area. If we can move as one unit, everybody plays their position, move as one unit forward, we can get this done. We can do this. But if you have Negroes popping off here and there trying to do some separate stuff in events and doing whatever they want to do and don't have the same mindset of what we're trying to accomplish, it's not going to work that way. That's why I said the group we have, I want to discuss that too about the Facebook group we have. I want to discuss, should I make the group from private to secret? Because I'm kind of like want to shed some Negroes who not really on that level because I don't know these people. People on this call, most of the people I know. But people I don't know, somebody didn't vouch for them, they got to go. Because what I'm trying to do is get people in the group with the same core understanding. And we can move forward as a group to get things done. But you can't have nobody with a separate mindset. We have to be moving in force. Pressure busts pipes. Pressure busts pipes. So it's an old saying, and it's true. We hone out, we have a laser beam focus on one goal. It's building a collective community where we all understand each other, we understand the differences, but we still move together in one motion. Focus. You can get, for example, there's a lot of people who have black businesses right now. Some doing well, some not doing that well, some getting started. But I'm going to tell you one problem they all will have at some point in the next 5 to 10 years. If you're doing great now, you're going to be doing good later, you're going to be doing poor later. If this doesn't change if we don't change the wind sails of our boat. Because right now, you might have a great idea. For example, the Chinese. They have great ideas they stole from us. They give them knockoff products that they stole from us. Black folks right now got some great business in office right now. Somebody working things in the Bay Area. They got restaurants that's great. They got businesses that's great. But it takes for somebody from another group of people to see what we're doing and duplicate that. Eventually, they will overtake our business that's great because they will find a way to duplicate what we have. For example, I see more places than I can really, I hate to mention, doing Louisiana fried chicken with Asian people running the business. This pisses me off. They got people out here doing our black businesses deals with our recipes, our business. They still getting our people to come solicit them because they found a way to duplicate what we're doing. So that person might have been great. Louisiana fried chicken might have been great at one point when black folks ran it. But now the Asians got it. See, I can go on a whole other tangent about that. But my point is this, family. That's why I'm putting together certain core people, because when you know your position, you play it, we're going to all win. Yes, you got businesses. Yes, you got certain things you want to do in your life. That's great. But in 10, 15 years, if your business plan is not working out anymore and all the black folks have alienated themselves from you or they've had to move out of the area, your business will fall. That's just my point. Your business will fall. I see another phone call coming in. Let me get this. 8518. Welcome to the call.
Thank you. I appreciate that. How are you doing, Mr. Wolf?
How you doing, Quinn? I'm doing good.
Great. Okay. Well,
what's on your mind?
I'm sorry. I need to turn this down real quick. I had you on the laptop and the phone because this is good. This is good stuff tonight.
Okay.
So this is Queen, and I happen to be feeling a lot better. Thank you. And
okay.
I want to speak on just a couple of things real quickly. Thank you, as always, for giving us the forum. I appreciate the word secret group. I want to get that out there real quickly. Okay? And I know I'm involved in a couple of groups and admin, but the secret group definitely works better. And as you stated, it'll weed out all the people who are not on the same mindset that everybody on this call definitely are. Like
we got your vote.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate what Miss Queen Maya put as far as sharing things in the group, because when we share things in the group and we don't use the URL, that's giving outside people an opportunity to start trolling, that share button. So I appreciate her putting that in our soon-to-be secret group. Also, I wanted to speak to the Queen Yolanda. I appreciate her and what she's saying, and I'm 100% in accord with everything she spoke about. And we're all seeing that, and a lot of us are feeling that, and what the other young lady spoke about. And I see it with sisters so much, and I've probably said this before, and before it's all over, I'm gonna say it again. Black queens and women need to stick together. We are Mother Earth. We are the creators and bring forth life. And there's so much backstabbing and hating on and all of this going on with the women. But if we as powerful business entrepreneurs and women don't get it together and come together and try to stop some of the negativity directed at each of us, then, things are going to fall apart. Man is the head, men, kings are leaders, of course. We're leaders also. But we still have a position as women. And if we don't hold each other down, then we leave the door open for other people to disrespect us. So I'm praying that we can work together on that. And then lastly, I want to just thank everyone and appreciate everyone. And some people come to me privately and in my inbox because of the autoimmune challenges that I deal with. I'm up and down, but I'm there. And some may not notice, but I'm there, and I'm going to be there. As you know, Wolf, you're my BFF and one of the greatest men I respect, and king and head and leader. So I like for us to continue what we're all working toward so we can put our monies together, get the properties, get the communities going together for ourselves, and do what our ancestors did: self-sufficient, self-reliancy, growing food, sharing, buying from each other in the stores, and all these things. And we were a lot healthier if people stop and think about that. Some of the illnesses and things going on today, we weren't experiencing. My grandmother is 91 years old. Grandfather lived to be 94, and he probably could have lived a lot longer if it wasn't for a lot of negativity and people allowing white men and hospitals and other people to come in and take charge. So that's pretty much it. Thank you again. Thank you to all you wonderful kings in the group and you wonderful, beautiful queens.
All right. Thank you, my sister. Appreciate you, Queen. I just want to say a few things before we end this call. One thing I've learned with dealing with my people, family, I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot to be said, but there's a lot that people take for granted. Think about this for a minute. Let me just put something on your head real quick. Everywhere we go, family, we get disrespected. Everywhere we go. Some might demand the respect, but the first inclination of other people is to disrespect us. One reason is they do it is because of the brainwashing of this nation, the media, the petty crimes, the gentrification, the things that happen in our communities that was been put upon us that we must fight against. People come to disrespect me. I'm a clean-cut brother. I don't look like a thug. My pants don't sag. I don't smell. I'm clean, dressed decent, clean when I want to be. But the first inclination of anybody coming outside and I'm a big dude, tall stature, confident, people get scared. People get reaching for their purses. People get to be, there's some type of way because they see a big black man. They've been brainwashed to believe a black man has to be jovial, catting off, clowning. He can't be serious without being dangerous. Yeah, I could be dangerous too if I want to be, but I don't carry myself like that. My point to you is this. We deal with a lot of disrespect in this country, okay? Especially our men. Especially our men. The black man cannot go anywhere in this country and feel safe on his own. We got to always be very, very, very cautious. But they killed the leadership of our community because they know the black man falls, the security factor is down. Our sisters do a lot of the work. Let's get that straight. Like the lioness on the Serengeti. The lionesses do most of the hunting. But what's the lion's job? Protect, procreate, to make sure his legacy goes forward. But the sisters do a lot of the work. In lionesses, even in the community right now. So what Queen was saying is very important. We cannot be misdirected from our focus, family. We can't get into petty bullshit and differences. We really can't do that. And my point is this. If you understand the black community has to deal with a lot of disrespect, you talk to your brothers and sisters. Let's say I go to a restaurant. Many restaurants I go to, I solicit. If there's a problem, if the sister runs a restaurant, she might be a single parent home, might have had bad experiences with men, period. If it's a group of us, it's probably better for a woman to talk to the sister about things she could maybe do better in a respectable way. If it's a man, probably a man should go better to be respectable in that way, to talk to that man and say, hey, my brother, let me talk to you about this. This is a great restaurant. I enjoy the food here. But if we could do this right here, it'd be so much better. If you could find a way to bridge that gap on some common ground, family, because everybody's on edge. Everybody. So this is a problem that's why everybody cannot be a leader. Some people will have a lot of courage, but just because you're a brave person don't make you a leader. Let me just say that. I deal with a lot of people who piss me off. People who do things disrespectfully, maybe not knowing it, maybe are knowing it. Who knows? The point is this. I will tolerate it. I will work with somebody if that person has a genuine work ethic and heart condition to where I can see. Only God knows the heart, but the mouth, through the mouth, the heart speaks. Okay, so if you talk and you back up your actions that you say you're going to do something, you do it, I'm going to respect you to some degree. And I will try my best to work with any brother and sister who will have some kind of collectively bond with us unity-wise. You believe what I believe. You want to do what I want to do. We have differences, whatever, it's okay. I work with you. All must understand one thing. The black man's under a lot of pressure right now. The last thing you want to do is be disrespectful to a black man. It goes without saying with our sisters. It goes without saying. But for men, respect, people die for respect. Men die for that. If you don't respect the black man, and it's only a few of us left, I'm going to tell you, a lot of the kids we look up to us now. The older ones, they are there for wisdom and guidance. They don't have young legs no more. Okay? I talked to a brother today, this past weekend. There's 5 generations of black people alive today. He brought it out. And it's true. The 5th generation is the oldest. The 4th generation is in the probably 60s, 70s. Okay? The thing is, they're there for our advice. They're there for our guidance. But they don't have young legs no more. So those in 3rd, 2nd generation, 1st generation, we have to guide those people. I'm the 3rd generation. We have to guide the 2nd and 1st generation. But the respect has to be there, family. You can't move black men without respect. Let me just tell you right now. A lot of people don't know this. You can't move a black man without respecting him. You ain't going to move him. Sisters, we got to give them the proper respect that they deserve, too. But a lot of families, the 3rd generation people have been single-parent homes, and they just don't really know how to deal and communicate effectively. You cannot move a black man without respecting him. And all these businesses around the country, in the nation, in the Bay Area, we have to deal with our people with respect. Sister owns a restaurant, talk to her. If she gets some work, she needs to work on this. Hey, send somebody who has that mouthpiece to go season it with salt and come to the sister and talk about what need to help build this restaurant or this establishment to a better place. We have to do that, family, because we're losing, and nobody's going to care. We look back 20, 30 years from now, how the black people failed in America, how they're just beggars and prostitution and thugs and killers on the street. Nobody's going to care about that. These folks are moving forward. We got to get with the program, family. I got one more call I'm going to take. We got 5 minutes. 2697. Welcome to the call.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. How you doing?
All right. You just really stuck me with that word, petty differences. Petty differences. This is our main issue. And I know we only got a couple of minutes, but I just wanted to comment about the event that we went to. That event at the lake, I just want to say that was the closest I've seen any type of togetherness of black people in a long time. That event was, I mean, if you didn't go, the Bay Area Black Market, that event, how did they title it? Black Friday Blackout. You know, right. It was 45 sellers there, all black people selling items to black buyers. And I mean, I just seen a different type of atmosphere. You know, it was like everybody was mature, they were business minded, they were working together, you know, and I made one point, and I mean, I wish we had more of these type of events. And I made one point, I spent all the money I was going to spend for Christmas. I spent everything there. Without hesitation. And I've had some bad experiences with black establishments, yes. But the thing is, I'm just not going to give up on them. And I just think we have a little issue with brainwashing. And we're just locked in a set way of thinking. And we can't give up on each other. I just wanted to say that. And the last thing I want to say is that this radio station, I believe that this station is a step in the right direction. And just keep it pushing, Wolf.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, my brother. Yeah, and last but not least, family, we also everybody need to get, if you have a Twitter account, go ahead and follow us at Bay Area Black, because it'd be a lot easier if we can just put things in one place. It's protected tweets. Put things in one place so you can get the information that you need in 148 characters. And follow us on Twitter at Bay Area Black. We have a public page, the Bay Area Black Community, on Facebook. Like us there. And we're going to discuss this group about being private and see how many votes we got on that, because I'm all about bringing everybody into the circle, and those who are actively, collectively working with us as a team will have a say in what we do. Because I'm so serious about this. This is not about ego anymore. It's past all of that. We talking about survival, family. We're talking about survival. The survival of the black race in this country. That we built, our ancestors built this country, and I'd be damned if we let it go without a fight. So that's the focus, family. That's the focus. You guys want to see rebroadcast and put this on YouTube channel? Our YouTube channel is the Bay Area Black Community. Listen to the broadcast again. Some nuggets for you to all gain from. Like it if you feel like it was something you learned from it. It was a good show. Go ahead and like us on YouTube as well. The Bay Area Black Community YouTube channel. And we have a website, www.bayareablack.org. You can give me any donations or you can invest in your future. And our future is your future on that website as well, on the big red donate button. Give it to your heart's desire. So, family, I want to thank everybody for tonight's show. We call it a night on this. You guys have a good night, and Godspeed.